Welcome to the Fans Edge Sports Show, hosted by 216 Mike and E.G. LaFleur, and produced by Walt K. Disney. This is a sports show with college football focus that allows fans to create topics and discussions.
What's good, people?
What's good? What's good? Hey, make sure everybody out there that's tuning in right now, you follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, YouTube, as well as TikTok. And then every Monday morning, our show will be posted on all streaming podcast platforms. So if you miss part of tonight's episode, just go ahead and scroll back through and catch us tomorrow as well in the morning.
For sure.
Let's
What's
go.
going on, gang? How's everybody doing?
Man, just chilling, man. Ready to see some action on the field, man. I'm kind of over talking about things because talking only creates animosity. I'm ready to see
Big
it on the
facts.
field, man.
Big facts, man. I can definitely agree with that, man. Well, producer Disney, what do you have for us today?
Wait, first and foremost, how many days we got till the season starts?
It's like what, 6 weeks?
Six
Yeah,
weeks,
six Saturdays,
six
I think.
Yeah.
six Saturdays. Okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure we keep. We should probably post like a little clock online,
Yeah.
little countdown.
No countdown.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, jumping right into it today on the show, we got some hot topics, some hot takes today. So opening news, top five projections to start fall camp. According to the David Keon of a Bleacher Report, we got Alabama as number one, Ohio State,
Okay.
Georgia, Texas A&M, and Clemson bringing up the rear.
You got what? Hold on. You said, see. Now let me stop it right there. Texas A&M at 4. That's a bit much. I'm fine with the top 3. But Texas A&M at 4, that's a lot, man. I don't know. I don't get the hype train behind Texas A&M. They need a quarterback, if you ask me, and I just don't know. And Clemson at 5, wow. I don't even know if Clemson is the best team in the ACC right now, but you know, I don't know, man. I don't feel good about that 4 and 5 spot. What about you, Mike?
Man, I'm just waiting on things to start coming out of camp and us to start finding out, teams who have quarterback battles, those quarterback battles, position battles, different things like that. All this is, man, it's clickbait. You know what I'm saying? And
Clickbait.
then you also pick, some of the top teams with some of the top social media, rankings as well. So, I mean, it's not a bad move on his part. And then also, we're talking about the ACC and stuff like that. I mean, Clemson is known, even though they weren't that bad last year. I think they still pulled out a 10-win season.
Yeah.
Also, Texas A&M. I think that a lot of people that are on that train, because of what they did to Bama last year. But y'all know how I feel about them. Until they have a consistent quarterback, I put Arkansas ahead of Texas A&M.
Hey, we beat
That's
them
big
last
fact.
year. Go
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hogs.
and
Oh
Go
yeah.
Hogs.
you got a more consistent quarterback than them too. So for sure.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, and that brings up Clemson. A lot of people are saying, whatever happened to Clemson, so it kind of keeps them in the discussion as well. But like Mike said, a little bit of clickbait. You know how they do. Um, the QBs with the most approved in the 2022 to 2023 season. Who do y'all have,
I
and which
got
Def,
the
team?
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'll do mine first since we're already talking about Clemson. It's DJ, if you ask me. DJ has the most to prove. Has he taken a step forward? He's no Trevor Lawrence. He didn't come in right away successful. He struggled last year. I think he had 9 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. I mean, that's not cutting it for a team that's projected top 5. Nine touchdowns to 10 interceptions. I, I had higher hopes for him than that, so I'm hoping he step up. If he step, you go as your quarterback go. If he step up, the team wins. The team does better, and that's my number one guy with number one QB with something to prove. What about you, Mike?
So I'm going to say this, like I was saying, right now the ACC is kind of wide open, is how we're looking at it as, there are more questions than answers coming from Clemson, this year. And then you also lose your, defensive coordinator. You lose so many pieces that has stayed around that program and that culture for so long. And, the one team that I think isn't being talked about enough, and I think is a sleeper in the ACC, is NC State. So the quarterback that I'm going to go with is Devin Leary. I mean, I think that they bring back some great talent as well. So I think he also has, most to prove. I know that they have been going at big time wide receivers and recruiting and telling these guys, hey, you can stay over here on the East Coast. You can stay over here in the Carolinas. We're good over here, and I mean, I see NC State if he can go up toe to toe with Clemson, man. I mean, I think like he will be able to prove not just for himself but also for their program.
Yeah, I like that NC State pick, man. I think that's a really good football team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like you mentioned, definitely a sleeper team. A lot of people don't consider NC State, especially that conference as well. So they do get left out of the conversation. So
Zach
uh,
Calzadas, if he's mid again, he might get Harsin fired. I
Big
feel that.
facts. Big
okay,
facts. Appreciate you, Ethan, with the comment.
yeah.
Keep them
Thanks
coming.
for
Keep
tuning
them
in,
coming.
Ethan. Yes, let's go. Okay, so we getting ready to move on to some news that's we Tennessee. I wish every year it's always something. So if y'all haven't heard, we got this Tennessee versus the Vols program versus NCAA. The NCAA has charged Tennessee football program with 18 level one alleged rules violations, and for recruiting benefits totaling to around 60K that were paid to prospects, players, and their families under the former coach of Jeremy Pruitt, who was fired in 2021 after its internal investigation into allegations. So,
Well,
uh,
And
I will start off. Let me start it off because I talked with like 2 or 3 Tennessee fans, and I think the NCAA is doing the right thing, and they're moving to like more of a self-penalized thing. So it'll be more of Jeremy Pruitt being penalized than the university. So it's like they're kind of doing this self-penalized thing. So I don't feel like it'll be much of an issue moving forward because I never believed in like punishing the university for years to come, even when a coach is gone. Like when Reggie
right,
Bush, his situation hit the fan, I was not a big fan of that because that year when I saw Reggie Bush, he was my favorite college football player, and they were penalized for about 10 years following what they did at USC. So I like how the NCAA is moving towards the self penalized things instead of just penalizing the university.
right. And
yeah, man.
the same with speaking with the Vols fans, they said that like they handled it perfectly in perfect fashion. All of this is going back to Pruitt and his wife,
Right.
and a lot of people are asking the question of, do you think this will happen more or less as the NIL increases? Because they were accused for paying for rent, paying for hotel, flights, all those other things, but now that players are getting the NIL money, do you think this will decrease, in the upcoming season?
So
Yeah.
so my take on the Tennessee thing is basically, you know, we knew that this was happening. There was a rumor going around that they were paying guys and giving them in paper bags, money in McDonald's bags and stuff.
McDonald's bags.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this is the crazy.
GBO. What's up, Kellen?
They said of those cash and gifts, $15,000 worth of car and rent payments were allegedly paid to one player over a 2.5 year span. I mean, I just think that, like these are the things that we have been hearing about for the very longest.
Yeah.
And it's not just Tennessee, I mean, they just happen to get caught because they were doing things, completely wrong way and out there. And, all it takes is one person to open their mouth and say something. But the NCAA has been doing this thing. If you report yourself and you come out with this, you can determine your penalty. I mean, we saw at Ohio State Tattoo Gate, they decided, 1 year bowl band or whatever, and that was,
right.
was suffice or whatever. I honestly, I just feel like once a new coaching staff has been in the program and is the new coach, I don't believe that program now should even be touched.
I
Period.
agree.
Dot.
I agree.
NCAA,
Right.
you came in too late. You should have
Right.
been investigating way
Yo, but
sooner.
listen
That's
though,
how I feel, man.
the money in a McDonald bag is crazy, yo. They moving like drug dealers now. What is going on? You
Man.
gotta get caught when you moving like
Hey,
that, you
just
know?
imagine, man. Hey, your kid signed on the dotted line, man. Just pull up in the
Hey,
McDonald's
look
parking
under the
lot.
table. Look
Look,
under the table. It's
Pull up
right
in the
there.
McDonald's parking lot.
the
Hey, man, I
Valero
saw.
at that McDonald's.
Hey, he
Look.
just passed him a McGriddle. Nah, some cash with that McGriddle.
Yes,
There was
sir.
some
That's
cash that
crazy.
came with that McGriddle.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
crazy. That's wild, man.
I mean, think about it. It's really smart. You go into McDonald's. Hey, you buy a McGriddle. All I did was get a parent of McGriddle. You know,
Right,
That's it.
right,
You
right,
know.
here's the receipt right here. You know, yeah,
right,
the cash was in the back.
right, right.
Open up that, be like,
That's
oh,
wild.
Yeah,
superstar.
That's
Okay.
what it's about.
Right.
but
But
yeah,
yeah,
man. I mean, like I said, man, it's over with. It is what it is, man.
we're moving on, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
NCAA, you're
Okay.
too late. You're too late.
Yep. Too late. Speaking of rules and regulations, California governor, we got versus UCLA. So apparently, Governor Gavin Newsom publicly demands UCLA to explain the Pac-12 to Big Ten move. So this comes up after the realignment and how this will benefit the students and athletes of the UCLA as a public institution. So,
This,
And
and
this is basically about people being butthurt. Butthurt. Literally.
I think it's more of the geographical locations. The
No.
one thing
No.
everyone was worried about at first, they have to travel so
No.
far now. But
No. They never had a problem when it was bowl games. They never had a problem
that's
with
one
travel.
game.
No, they never had. It's more than one game. They travel for non-conference games too.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
so
Yeah.
there's never been an issue. And let me tell you, you want to know how it's going to help the students of UCLA, not just the athletes, but also the students, because now you're going to get more money that gets to go into your research facilities that
I
these
agree with that.
universities have. Now the universities can build more, things on campus. You can get more materials. This is going to benefit every university that joins in on this realignment. So, like I said, this is nothing about her feelings. You want a reason? Money's the reason. What do you
Money's
mean?
always
$100
the
million?
it's always, yeah,
$100 million for our university.
right.
Right,
What the governor's really out here saying is how are you going to leave the other schools behind? How are you going to leave Cal behind? That's what
Just
they're
like
really saying.
He-
How are
he-
you
he's
going to
gonna
leave
miss the
Cal behind,
rivalry.
bro? Screw it.
Everyone likes those rivalries, man. They like the California rivalries. Those are big money days, big money games for those
Get
people
the
in that state.
politics out of football. The politics out
I
of
agree,
football,
though.
man.
I'm not
And
with
it
the
sounds like they
politics.
can't still do those rivalry games. They should be able to still fit one or two in. I mean, if Arkansas
It-
play UNTV, so it's all about the scheduling.
Right,
All
They're in charge
schools
of that.
can, they non-conference. That's who you got. You can schedule to eat whatever teams you want, non-conference. That's up to
Right,
you.
right,
That's what you
right.
want to do
Right.
with your non-conference schedule. So,
Yep.
hey,
That's it. So moving on, we got Vandy receiving one vote to win the SEC. One vote.
That was downright disrespectful. Why is Vandy receiving a vote? Like someone on the committee right now is just clowning. Arkansas had one vote. And you mean to tell me Vandy gets one vote? Come on, man. The guy must be from Vandy. I know Vandy is a great academic school. It's a school where people get great degrees. I don't know what's their area of expertise, but someone on the committee is from Vandy. I didn't appreciate that.
I'm disappointed in us as the fans edge because we fell for the clickbait. That's all this is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
true.
it is, bro. Like this is
That's
the
true.
era that we live in college football, in sports, in everything, bro. What's going to get the people talking, man? And
Right. And
I'm
that's what it's
sorry, but
about.
man,
That's what it's about.
I'm sorry,
on,
but
man.
Vandy right now is not worth talking to me. But you know, that's what you want.
Oh, hey, there might be somebody's sleeper team out there. So, I mean, hey, if you got Vandy winning,
hope
go
not.
ahead and join the discussion. If you want to join, we
Shout
got
out
some.
Vandy.
I'm
You
out.
know, if you want to come and defend, if you want to jump on the show and defend Vandy, by all means, let us know what we missing out there. Let us know. All right, so we got Pitt's head coach Pat saying that they could win the Big Ten after playing Michigan State without Kenny Pickett. Pitt lost 21-31. So someone said, if that's one of the best Big Ten teams, let's go to the Big Ten and win it every year.
Narduzzi
You go
said,
ahead, EG.
he said, I like that. I like that confidence. I like how he's getting the players going. He said, if that's the Big Ten, if that's one of their best teams, he said he can go there and win it every year, you know. And Michigan State is considered one of their top teams, man. I feel like I'm with Pat Narduzzi on that, man, because hey, they lost without their starting quarterback, first round draft pick, Kenny Pickett, who was the top guy. He's gonna be the Steelers starter maybe here soon. Hey, he didn't have him. He only lost 21-31 to Michigan State. If that's their best team, he said, hey, let's go to the conference and win it every year. Who am I to say, hey, I don't agree with that? I do agree with that. If Michigan State is the top 10, the Big Ten is not as tough as it seems. Pitt was a good football team last season. I don't put that past them. They were a great football team. But without the starting quarterback for Pitt, you guys, they're supposed to have a field day. They didn't do that. They lost by 10. I don't know. I'm gonna let Mike take over that because he loves.
I mean, because I think we could say both of their dynamic players weren't playing in that game, right? Right?
You said who? You talking about?
No, I'm saying both of their dynamic players weren't playing in that game, correct?
Okay, who was Michigan
Kenneth
State?
Walker. Kenneth Walker.
Okay.
So both of their dynamic players weren't playing in that game. And let me just go ahead and give you guys some history of Pat Narduzzi. This is idiotic crap for him to even be saying anything about the Big Ten. He knows about the Big Ten, but I think that this is possibly him being mad that he got looked over for that Michigan State job, because understand how he got the Pitt job was being a great defensive coordinator, at Michigan State. But check this out. He got hired in 2014, right?
Right.
In 2016, he lost to Iowa 27-24. 2017, Penn State. Now, all of these scores I'm about to say for each year from here on out is about to be Penn State. Penn State in 2017, 33-14. Penn State, 51-6 in 2018. 2019, 17-10. So you're bragging about losing to Michigan State, who finished as what, fourth in total in the Big Ten. You're bragging about that. And you think that you can win the Big Ten by losing to the fourth best team, which would have put you fifth. You could say, hey, we can go in the Big Ten and be a middle of the pack team.
That's he said win the whole thing.
But I know what he said, but I'm saying what he should have said, because that's what he did. He's a middle of the pack Big Ten team. You're not going to come in and think that you're going to be able to do anything. You can't even beat Iowa. You let Iowa score 27 points. You let Iowa score 27 points.
What
Iowa has had the worst offense in college football.
What Narduzzi is doing is building off the momentum he has now.
Right.
He's building off of it right now.
There is no
he
momentum.
He has a Biletnikoff winner, and he had a first-round quarterback.
You have to show consistency.
He's building off that momentum.
You have to show consistency. You got 1 year. You got 1 year, and you're not able to show any consistency, and you think that you can come into the Big Ten and win? Okay.
Hey,
Hey,
we had a question pop up down there. He was
yep,
talking about what's up
definitely
with
did.
all these mega conferences. Is it all about money? And
Appreciate you, Free.
Yeah, let's
shout
get
out
that up.
Free.
Let's talk.
It is about money. It's about that TV money. It's about producing revenue because what's big right now is NIL. You got to get the money back in the university if you're gonna give out money. So everyone's trying to receive that money, man. You know how it is. They get TV deals, and certain TV programs are not servicing certain conferences. They're coming out and saying now we will not schedule these teams or this conference anymore. We'll be strictly this conference. So people are moving as the money moves, man.
Yep, that's all.
Yeah,
That's the way they do it in
yeah,
broadcast world. It's where the money resides, you know.
yeah. And
Where the
this
money
this
resides.
this is yeah, and that's all this is. This is between Fox, ESPN, the Big Ten one to get their footprint as more of a national brand than just regional. And like you said, man, it's all about money. But I think that this is also going to be used to be a power play to break away from the NCAA in at least football. So,
Yep.
That's good. That's a good thing.
yeah. All
Oh yeah.
righty.
All right. So we had media days this week. The SEC wrapped up with media days. Did you guys have any type of takeaways or anything that you saw that that you weren't expecting to see? Any surprises? Anything you looking forward to when it comes to
I,
the
I
SEC?
DJ. Oh,
one thing I like is all the coaches like Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, and those guys. They stuck their neck out for Deion Sanders. They're all for playing Deion Sanders in Jackson State, and I like how they're sticking their neck out. Although we really don't want to see that game. I mean, I would like to see Travis Hunter play against Alabama, but after he's
Yeah.
gone, I don't know if that'll be a matchup or anything of that sort. But I like how the coaches are sticking their neck out for Deion Sanders. I really appreciate that. What about you, man? What did you take away from the media day? Also, another thing I wanted to say, I'm looking at Kirby up there on that stand acting like he's just so against NIL money and stuff like this. Like, Georgia, we know you guys are doing something fishy. I don't want to hear how you're so against. Yeah, we're against it. Everybody that's doing something that they can't be proven, something on the table, they're so against NIL. NIL. Yeah, man. I don't believe in paying kids to come to the university. Yeah, right. But other than that, man,
yeah.
it was a great media
What was
day,
his
man.
his statement was something about like they shouldn't be paid more than like $10,000 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
And
was
it's
Yep.
something
just like,
along.
like, man, I was telling guys in Twitter Spaces this, and this is how I like to verb this, because I was sitting at a barbershop, moved to Dallas. I'm like, man, before I could, pay for my haircut 20, give my barber 5, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes give him 30. So I'm tipping them 5, 10 bucks, right? But here at what do you call it? In Dallas, you're talking about almost $50 for a haircut. So
Woo!
I do find this barber charged me like in between like 30, 40 bucks, right? But there's one barber in there that's charging like $100 a haircut, even kids, right? And
Right,
so I'm like, dang, man, even kids. And then this barber broke it down and just said, he said, if that man feels like he gives
he
you
worth.
$100 haircut, you
Right,
cannot
right,
tell that man what he is worth. And you
right.
cannot tell these kids what they are worth. And I'm sorry,
100%.
Kirby, but if you think that any of these kids are worth
Right.
just $10,000, my kid would not be coming to play for you.
Hey, he
My
said
kid,
$50 is the normal now. Hey, I don't
no,
know about
hell
y'all.
no.
I'm
I don't
still
know
paying
where he
30.
what is he living in
I'm still
1940?
paying 30
Not
in
Ten
19.
Athens,
thousand
Georgia.
dollars? $10,000?
At, hey, in Athens, Georgia, on UGA campus, I paid $30.
But you asked what was some takeaways, and I'll tell you this, man. I don't know if you guys saw DJ Uivangalele at ACC Media Days. The dude looks athletic. He trimmed off
He looks
all
like he's in
that fat.
shape.
Like
I agree. I
he
saw that.
looks like he's in shape. I mean, like I told you guys, his dad had came into the spaces and talked to us and everything and said that his son had been working and grinding. And then just to see that, just to see him just walk, his demeanor, just to
He
tell
looked
that
good.
that he looked good and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe I can buy the smoke. Maybe
I'm
I
buying it.
can
I'm
buy the
buying it
smoke. Right.
just a little bit right
Yeah.
now.
I
You
mean,
know,
like I
I'm
said, I
for
do
it right
think
now.
they got some questions to answer on the defensive side. Cause like I said, that they, like they lost a guy who had been like the culture of their defense, basically. Like Brett Venables to me was the culture of Clemson's defense.
Yeah.
And I feel like they lost a big piece in that. But
Hey,
if anybody puts Clemson up there, I can't argue right now, and I'll refuse. I won't argue. I won't.
I seen a few comments. My guy said KJ not being all SEC is ridiculous. I also agree with that, but
Who would be
my
the
thing is
second best
this:
quarterback? Who do they have as the second best?
probably Rogers from Mississippi State because
Will
he's in that
Rogers.
era. He's in
Oh
that
yeah.
air raid and he threw for 4,000 yards with nearly 40 touchdowns. You can't go against numbers sometimes when you picking those things, and that's the one thing about it, man. You can't go against numbers a lot. It's a lot of guys who had better numbers, but KJ won better games. But
And that's my thing. Like, if you match up the game, who has the
right,
better performance?
Right.
KJ
in
going
bigger
up against
games,
like Texas A&M, getting hurt,
right,
and I was telling guys about this. He got hurt in that Texas A&M game, and still
right,
found a way to pull out and win that mug. Like,
right. And he
bruh,
said Hooker and Levy were second and third, and yeah, they were because Hooker's stats were slightly better. He threw for slightly more touchdowns. Those are the number games. They're playing the number
yeah,
games,
and that's
Yeah.
what
and
it is. But that's what we
and
also know about, like the Heisman. I mean, the fact that Will Anderson wasn't even invited, but the
right.
defensive player that was invited was Aiden Hutchinson. Like
That's
Aiden Hutchinson is
crazy.
nowhere near close to Will
No way.
Anderson. Will
No way.
Anderson, as young as he is, would have been drafted way higher than Aiden
As a
Hutchinson.
sophomore.
Yeah, bro, like
As a
that's
sophomore.
crazy, man. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
They're
I,
playing that numbers game,
I
man.
don't like that. That's why I don't like that stuff, man. I like the feel like I'm always saying, man, the proof is in the pudding. Y'all
Right.
guys gonna hear me say that on this show so much. The proof is in the pudding. And
And that's why
until
we should drop our own top quarterbacks and top running backs at every position. We should drop our own, the
we
fans'
will,
edge style.
we
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
So
I
we can
definitely
rate our
agree.
own. We're not just looking at numbers. We're looking at body of work. We're looking at games won. What type of games have this guy won? Will Rogers is just padding stats. This man, he's in a game they won comfortably, still passing the ball because that's what Leach does. He's an air raid type of coach, and he's got those numbers.
Oh yeah. And then one more thing, one more topic before we move on. I don't know if y'all saw Jimbo Fisher's comments about the scheduling. I know the scheduling has been a very huge comment on the schedule, so we're gonna see if
What was his
this
comment?
and he said he basically thinks that the West and the East is over with because when Texas comes into the league, when the schedule comes out, they're definitely going to want to have their rivalry game. Then LSU with the rivalry game and Mississippi State. So you basically crossing between the East and the West. So we'll see what happens. And
And
then
and
finally, oh,
Might
go
as
go
well
ahead.
ahead,
have
EG.
Go ahead,
Go
D.
ahead,
non-conference
EG.
games.
Yeah.
Also, Sam Pittman spoke briefly on that too. He said that we don't want to have to not play Ole Miss. He said he would hate to see us not playing Ole Miss. He would like to see us playing Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. He said that. So I'm trying to see how it's going to be divided. If you ask me, I will move Bama to that east and add Texas, Oklahoma on this side, and that's it. We can move one more team like Missouri. We can move them out of the conference, but you can move them to the West, and, and
Right.
and we'll have a great divide. It'll give different teams a chance to make it. It'll give Georgia a different. They'll have to prove themselves a little more because we all know Georgia play on the easy side. We know they do.
That's what I said. Always a hot take when it comes to talking about scheduling. And
I,
then coming up next, we got the Big Ten media day up next this upcoming week. That will be on Tuesday and Wednesday. So Nebraska, Maryland, Minnesota, Iowa, Indiana, Northwestern, Michigan on Tuesday, and then Wednesday Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State, Rutgers, Penn State, Wisconsin, and the Ohio State on Wednesday.
Wednesday is the day. So we'll tune in on Wednesday. I want to see Michigan State clap back at Pat Narduzzi. I want to see what Ohio State plans to do. I don't want to hear no chirping from Ohio State. I don't want to hear too much. It's championship or bust. I don't want to hear none of that breakdown stuff. What's good, my peeps? What's going on?
What's
Jason?
going on?
But I don't want to hear
Thanks
no
for tuning
crap,
in.
nothing watered down. I just want to hear if they're gonna win the championship. Are they doing things to win the championship? Has that defense tightened up? And I want to hear what Michigan State is gonna do to be better. I also want to hear Big Blue, that Michigan team. I want to hear what they got to say as well. So those are the days I'm looking forward to tuning in, man. I know they're gonna talk about those new teams as well. So I'm listening to hear what they say about the new teams joining the Big Ten.
Mike, I know what day is most important to you.
Well, I think all of them are. I'm going to, as I always do, record it like I have these other media days. And, because I'm just a college football junkie, man. And, we can sit here and say that Wednesday, is the only important day. But when you're talking about teams like, when you're talking about week 0, Northwestern and Nebraska actually face off in week 0. Northwestern, I believe, is bringing back a whole lot of production. They're good at like every other or every third year. And I think that this is one of their years. Nebraska bringing in Casey Thompson. I think that this is going to be a big year for Nebraska. This is supposed to be that year. We saw them, their record didn't really tell how good of a team they were, because with so many games, I want to say, like in 2, 3, or 4 games, they only like lost by a combined 9 points or something like that. So I think that's crazy. I want to hear about that. I had a crazy way too early prediction that Maryland would be able to beat that team up north.
Tua.
They're going to have a lot of guys back healthy. They had a lot of skill players, wide receivers go down. I want to hear about those guys. I also want to hear about what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball, because that's what's been holding Maryland back. And then, you talk about, we can skip them, man. I mean, he took his national signing day off, so I probably, will edit the recording out of him. He can take Big Ten media days off too, for all I care. But
hey, that's intimidation. That's intimidation right there. You see that guy, that Ohio State fan is intimidated. I like it. That's what it sounds like. Hey, but you said
anyways,
Maryland.
Like I was saying before, I was interrupted by some weird stuff talk. But Wednesday, I'm looking forward. I want to hear about James Franklin, what they're doing, bringing Manny Diaz. We know that Manny Diaz failed as a head coach,
man.
But I want to see what he's doing with the defense. He's doing really good things in recruiting as well. And then Ohio State, I want to hear about what Ronnie Hickman has to say, man. Is Ronnie Hickman going to give us some inside nuggets on this defense that's going to say, hey, they're back, because we've been hearing the rumblings and, but the only thing is the proof in the pudding.
That's the most important thing for next year.
Are they going to be ready week 1 versus Notre Dame coming into Columbus? We're going to see it. We're not worried about that offense.
Yeah, I see this Ohio State fan in the comments right now.
We appreciate
not worried
it,
at all.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the only thing I'm worried about is that defense, man. I'm not worried about CJ. I'm not worried about Jackson. I probably know what they're gonna say and all of that good stuff, man. I do hope that nobody is there to disrespect my man CJ again. I hope they keep Desmond Howard as far away from Big Ten media days as they can as well, bro. So.
Hey man, I heard you mention earlier Maryland as well, man. That's another team with a quarterback who's got to prove himself. Lil Tua got to come on with it, man. It's his time.
I mean, if you
And
take away just that one game, bro, if you take away that one game where he like threw back to back all them interceptions, bro,
yeah,
he really
and,
wasn't
and
that
they
bad.
kind
And if
of
he had them healthy wide receivers, like they really wasn't that bad. And that's why I got that
everyone is
prediction.
right, and everyone's kind of shitting. I mean, excuse me, but they're kind of talking down on him. You know, they're saying bad things about the little Tua, and I feel like little Tua is really talented. You know, and he's one quarterback that has a lot to prove this season. I haven't checked Maryland's full schedule, but it'll be interesting to see what games they win and how they compete, man. I want to see little Tua do his thing.
For
Oh
sure,
yeah.
man.
Media Day's definitely wrapping up and getting closer and closer to the start of the season. I know we can't wait. Look,
I'm
all
ready,
right.
man. I'm effing
I'm
ready.
ready to see the ball, man. I'm ready to see ball, man. I'm ready to see some football, man. I'm tired of
For
talking.
real, man. I'm serious, bruh. Like,
Yes.
oh, also, man, we will be having I want to say our draft. TFE, College
Right.
Football Fantasy, is Sunday at 2:30 Eastern. We will probably post the draft live, and then after the draft, we'll probably go right into the live show or something like
Do
that.
we have any open spots left?
Not in the TFE league. I did start another league that we do have a
Okay.
few spots in.
Okay.
But yeah,
Gotcha.
So,
if
hey,
anybody,
I'm excited. I'm
yeah,
excited about this first year, man. Don't think I haven't been scouting those low key players either, man.
yeah, I
Don't
already
think I
got
haven't been
mine.
jotting names down and checking out guys, man. Like I got some guys under my belt I'm thinking about too. I got some guys.
Oh yeah.
Mike, we're good, bro. Baby Tua will be a must watch. I
Yeah.
believe they got a UF transfer wide out coach, and they gonna be nasty, bro.
Yeah.
They
And
gonna it's gonna be like all I need to know is how they gonna be on defense, bro. Like
yeah.
if they defense don't get in the way, I think that they can. I honestly think that they can possibly beat Penn State and possibly beat that team up north. Like I think that they have a shot only if they defense is there though.
Uh,
Yep. Like they
that's
say,
tough, man.
defense wins
I
games.
hope for the best, man.
It's
I
tough,
hope
but I
for
mean, honestly, like that team up north just lost their offensive coordinator who gave them their
Right.
best offense that they have ever had, and they just lost their defensive coordinator as well. Like, it's a
it.
wrap, bro.
Hey,
It's
he
a
said
wrap.
bleed blue.
They gonna be bleeding too, all on that field. Hey,
Some
that blood
tears
in
and
their veins is blue right now. But once the wounds open up, it's gonna be scarlet, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
Oh wait.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing
Yes.
you. I got to see it on the field, man.
Yeah, you gonna see it. You gonna see it.
Hey. Hey, but you know what? I think that's all we got for tonight. I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in and joining the discussion and leaving those comments. Make sure, and just thank you for listening to the Fans Edge. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then also make sure you're following us on all social media platforms as well. And then again, catch us tomorrow. If you happen to miss a couple of seconds of tonight, we're going to be on all podcast platforms. So. And then we'll see you guys throughout the week.
Hey,
So,
any questions? Add us on Twitter, man. We chirp quick on Twitter. If you have any questions, hit us up on there, man. If you want to talk about something, discuss it on Twitter, man. Get the interactions up. You know, be looking out for a space. We'll host a space every now and then. Be on the watch out. Whenever you see it, just join up.
Make sure you
Just
follow us right here, right there.
there we go.
216 Wild Boy. I'll hop into space. Just click
I'll
on my
hop in the
name. I'll be
space.
in there. Yeah,
I'll be
EGB
in there
in the
on the
spaces
Fans
too.
Edge page. It doesn't matter. My page, whatever, man. Hop in, join the discussion, man.
stay away from that clickbait. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
For
Same
real.
time.
Let's go.